Hey Dope Fam, it's been such a long time. I can't. But I'm back, you guys. I was in school. I was in my first semester of nursing school, and bruh, I had no life. I had no social life. I didn't even know who I was. But if you asked me a question about it in class, I was like, I got you. Man, nursing school is super stressful. I can't emphasize that enough. I never thought it was going to be that bad. But it was bad, but let me tell you something. It was doable and you're able to get through it and you will get through it. Tips for people who are going into nursing school or want to go into nursing school. I'm just going to give you guys like my tips and my experience and just what I think. So if you would like to keep on watching, just keep on watching. Alright, so I think this is going to be my new setup. I mean, I don't know where to... This is like in my laundry area because in my room it was just too clustered and I was like, nah, I'm trying to get a new place. But here we are. I'm sorry I look ratchet with no makeup and everything, but I just been out of it. Not feeling like putting on makeup and all that stuff. And I'm going to go work out later. So I was like, what's the point of getting all glammed up if, I'm going to go work out later and it's not like my dope family is going to judge me, right? Someone's calling me. Hold up. Hello? What? Yeah? Also, I currently have a flip phone because I went out last Friday to turn up because semester was over and I got a little too turned that I broke my phone and now I'm phoneless, so I had to get a flip phone. Okay, so here are my tips for you guys. It's such a long list because there's just so many questions to ask. So I guess I'm just going to go in order to how I have them. So it says tips for nursing school. Definitely everybody's different. I'm not the type of person to go to sleep really late and wake up early. Like I can't function. I have to go to sleep on time and sleep my good hours to be able to function the next day. I can't sleep like at 2 a.m. and wake up at 6 because it's just not going to work out for me. And so since day one, I knew that I needed to get my sleep at night. And so what I did, I slept every day. Like around 9, I was done with my work. Like schoolwork, shut my computer, done. I got whatever I could during the day. So what I would do is get my stuff done during the day instead of cramming it at night, because when I tried doing it at night, I wasn't retaining anything. I wasn't really learning. I wasn't benefiting myself. I was just kind of finishing the homework, but it's not really homework. I'll get to that eventually. And so, yeah, every day by 9, I was done. Time to focus on myself. I would watch a movie. I would watch some videos on YouTube, just keep up with myself type of thing. But there's also people, I have friends who are doing very well in nursing school, and for them, they're night owls. They're okay with staying up late, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to know who you are first in order to be successful. And how I said the next one was study throughout the day. So a lot of people don't like giving up their freedom, so they would just be out and about during the day, and at night is when they would cram. But I didn't like doing that because then you get yourself even more stressed out. So I would just study, do my stuff during the day. I wouldn't go out. It would be hard with my family and my husband to do things with them because I was in my books, in my computer the whole day. But at the end of the day, it's better for you because you're focused on your ish. And then at night you can sleep and, instead of just cramming it till the night or cramming it till the last minute, that ends up being worse. Also, dedicate a day for yourself. At the beginning, I was working about part-time, so about 25 hours a week, and I was having 5 classes of nursing school, first semester nursing school, and literally I went crazy. I got anxiety. I was going nuts. I didn't know if I wanted to do nursing anymore. It got bad to that point, and it was because I was beating myself up. I was trying to get A's on everything. I was trying to work. If I wasn't at school, I was at work. If I wasn't at work, I was at school, so there was no time ever for me. And before that, I was regularly working out. I was having my time to myself, and I stopped doing that at the beginning of the semester, but that kind of bit me in the butt because then it was bad. And so then I learned to give myself a day. So my days were Tuesdays. That's the day where I would still do work, but at least in the morning I wouldn't do anything, which helps. Even half a day for yourself is enough, honestly. But like, just dedicate a day for yourself. Try to not beat yourself up so much. Do something you enjoy. So for me, something that I like to enjoy, that I would do and would help me relax, is workout. So I would take my notes, I would finish my study guide, and I would take my notes to the gym, and I would walk or run on my treadmill while reading the notes. Some people say it gets them dizzy, but you kind of get used to it. And right there, you're killing two birds with one stone. You're like getting your workout in, getting your cardio. It's not like an awesome workout, but at least you're running on the treadmill, walking the treadmill with like a steep, like whatever. You're still getting your workout. And so that helped a ton. Just do stuff that you enjoy, because it's going to get insane. And you're going to need to give yourself time for yourself, and to still remind yourself who you are, why you're doing it every day, because I swear every day you're going to be like, why am I doing this? Why didn't I choose an easier career? I'm going to drop out. You try to think about ways to make it out of it, but there's no way. So if you guys are wondering how many hours I worked during the week, I worked 8 to 10 hours. So on Mondays from 5 to 8, so that's 3 hours. I would have Tuesday off, Wednesday off. Thursday I would work 3 to 8, that's about 5 hours. And then Friday I had off, Saturday I have off, Sunday I had off. But sometimes I would go to work on Saturdays, like 9 to 3 or 9 to 1. So it was a good balance between school and work, and I had some days off where I could, just do all my work. Planner, I don't think I would have been, able to function. So this is my planner. If you guys have questions about care plans and stuff, this is what a care plan looks like. And you can have any type of planner. You can use your phone. You can use, a piece of paper. But I like an actual planner. So, so here's January. February. March. April, and May. So definitely a planner works for you. I'm very picky with my planners because I've always been a planner person, and I like to the day-to-day, like the weekly. I like it to be big enough where I can write whatever I want. I also have don't listen to everything people tell you. So, let's say you have a test tomorrow and people are just blabbing about the exam, and you hear something and you're like, wait, that's not what I understood. Then you start double questioning yourself, did I do this right? And then you freak out, and then you kind of lose self-confidence in yourself, and then you do bad in the exam. Please, 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 I recommend, what I would do is, I would not go to class. If I had an exam that day, I would go early, but I would have my headphones in and I would mind my own business, study what I got, and listen to music. Because if you sit there and listen to what every single student has to say, you're going to get confused. And trust me, I did really good. And there was times where I was like, what the heck? Did she just say that? That's not what I understood. So just go with your gut feeling. If that's the way you remember it, that's the way you will work. Some people will remember things differently, and so each person is different. You have to remember that. So every morning, I always had to wake up early because I had to take my brothers to school. I had to wake up at 6:20 because I drop off my brothers at 7. And so say my exam was at 9, so that was a good 2.5 hours to review the information for the exam. So when you first start nursing school, they're going to give you a huge, I don't know how your guys' program is, but both programs that I've been in, they give you a huge bundle of nursing books, and it's like $2,000, and these are the books you're going to use for your whole program. And it's kind of overwhelming because it's these really big, thick books. But honestly, you're not really going to use them. My program had an ebook, online book, where I could use my books online, so I could carry them in my computer all the time, and it was perfect. At the beginning, I did read every single chapter. Well, not every single word per word, because it's hard, because they give you tons and tons of chapters to read. But what my instructors did is they went in there and highlighted, and so that kind of helped you to narrow what's important to know and what's not important. And so instead of reading every single page, I would go on my computer and highlight everything that she highlighted and put it into a Word document. And I would do that. And then at the end, I would have this 20-page paper that I would print out. And it was information that she thought was good to know. And honestly, 20 pages is better than 200 pages. And so that worked for me. I did not have a printer at the beginning, but then I had to buy one because in nursing school it's crucial to have a printer, I feel, because you have so many things to print and sometimes it's kind of last minute and you just need a print. Or me, if you're like me, I have to have a physical copy. I'm like very old school. I'm not very good at highlighting online and it doesn't stick as well as doing it on paper. So what I started doing towards the end is I started to record the lectures, because at the beginning I was like, no, I don't need that. But it's actually very helpful to record the lectures, because once you listen to them more than once, you're actually studying it, because you're listening to it twice, and there's some things that you might not hear when you're in class that you will hear once you're actually, listening to it at home, taking your time without distractions. So that helps to just take your phone, obviously not your flip phone, but take your phone and record the lectures. It's not memorizing. I need to emphasize that so much. It is not memorizing. It's more about being able to apply the information you learn. Trust me, it's not like I went to a university before this school, and so they prepared me there pretty well, but it's not about memorizing. Now it's everything about putting it into perspective, or it's just so much different. Also, ask questions in class. You're already paying for school. Use your time wisely. If you misunderstood something, raise your hand and ask. There's no such thing as a stupid question. If you feel like it's stupid, then wait after class and ask her, and they will help you. Most likely somebody else will have that same question, and every time I've asked a stupid question, somebody else would kind of back up to it because they were confused as well. Get a group of friends who you will grow super close together, because they're the people who know how you feel. If your facility or if your school has a writing center, utilize it. You will write a lot of APA papers in nursing school, because that's the BSN part of it. So, and I suck at writing, being bilingual. I'm not good either at either language. So I have to utilize the writing center to help me write. Another thing, I was used to getting 100s on all my exams, getting A's. Well, let me break it to you. In nursing school, a 90% is not a A. A 90% is a high B. So in the school I am at, you have to get above an 80% to pass. That sounds very intimidating, I know. And I thought I wasn't going to be able to make it, but I did. So you have to get an 80% above on every single exam, and then an 80% overall in the whole class. And so let's say you have a 90% in the class and you have a 79% average on your exams in that class. You're not going to pass. You need to have 80% average on both class and the exam to pass. And so at the beginning, I would beat myself because I wanted to get an A, but it's very hard in nursing school. Nursing school is so hard that it's kind of hard to be that straight A person, but I passed with a 90% and above. And for me, a 90% is an A, so I'm very happy that I was able to pass all my classes with a 90% and above. But of course, in the place where I'm at, a 90 is a high B. I swear every single answer is correct, but you have to know which one is the most correct. And I remember when people used to tell me this, I'm like, you're BSing me, it's not that bad. No, it's bad. every single question is correct. You're just there sitting what? I didn't know this. Everything is critical thinking. You will use your study guide, but your study guide is not going to give you answers for the test, pretty much. The study guide is just there to help you with terms and know vital signs and stuff. But in the exam, it's all about, this patient comes into your clinic and this is what they have. What are you going to do first? Everything, and make sure to read the questions slowly, because there's identifiers like the word only, or first or after, or at the end, that will help you know which answer is correct. Make sure to eliminate stupid ones, and then there's always two of them which seem correct. You take your first couple ones, your mind will get adjusted to taking these exams, and so you'll get good at it. It's kind of like a mind trick. You'll get good at eliminating dumb ones and then, getting good ones. Also, type everything out. I used to be not a typing person. I would write everything out, but trust me, typing is much better because there's just so many files you have. And then when the midterm or final comes, you already have one typed out online. Make sure to put it in your own little folder for each class. That helps a ton. For clinical, my clinical was on Fridays from 7 to 2. Those were kind of crazy. they would stress you out because on top of all the classes that you're taking, you still have to do clinical. In clinical, the first semester, you're not in the hospitals yet. You're kind of learning how to do tracheostomies. You're learning how to do catheters. You're learning how to do sterile wound changes. You're learning how to do just all the procedures on mannequins. And at first, it's kind of awkward because you're like, okay, you know, like it's a mannequin. But you have to go in there and be like, knock, knock. Okay, my name's Jimena. I'm going to be a student nurse, and I'm here to do this and that. And you have to communicate. At my school, they have like these they call them sims because they talk to you, and the person who's talking to you is your teacher. So there's like it's like a hospital room, and then there's like a black wall, like a black glass, and on the other side you can't see them, but they can see you. It's your teacher's talking to the microphone through the mannequin. And so my clinicals were on Fridays, and then they would give you a procedure to learn. So let's say you have to learn how to do tracheostomies. Well, they would give you how to do it step by step. You have that class to do it, and then you have to on next Friday. So you have a whole week to learn it and check out. And so that was kind of stressful because I said it's like doing it in front of a teacher. It's intimidating because they're watching you and you have to act like this is real. They're going to ask you questions. You have to figure out what to say. It's really scary at the beginning, but towards the end, it kind of starts being your easiest part because it's clinical and that's your favorite part because you realize that nursing is for you. You start realizing like, oh wow, I can do this. Like it ended up being my favorite part because you would actually be hands-on and because you get lost in all the exams that you forget what actually you're going to school for, which is nursing. And so it was one of the best parts, I think. Somebody asked me that they had a few kids that they were thinking of going into a nursing program. Honestly, you can do it. Anybody can do it. In my program, there were a few girls who have kids, and honestly, there's a lot of people who are older, way older than me. And I mean, that's okay as long as you're getting it done. So don't be intimidated just because you're a little bit older and because you have kids. Like, it's doable, but it's probably going to be better if you don't work. I think that would be my opinion. If you have a lot to do at home, I would kind of try to not work as much and focus just on your family and school. But it's doable. If you guys have any more questions, just drop them down below into the comment section, and I will definitely answer those in further videos. Thanks for watching, Dope Fam.